solidarity. This is important. This is so important, not just to our members or members of other unions. This is important to Albertans. This is important to democracy and saving democracy in this province.
This is a critical issue. I was talking to my friend Pat, my new friend Pat from Vulcan. Pat has looked after seniors in Vulcan for 33 years. She is on the front lines, as are many of you, looking after the most vulnerable of our citizens. It is a critical job. It's a job that deserves a pension, a job that deserves the right to collectively bargain, and most importantly, a job that deserves the respect of all Albertans.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry that we have to be here on the steps of our legislature to fight a government that has no respect for our Constitution, for labor rights, and labor rights are human rights.
You think that your rights that are currently in legislation are protected? Don't be fooled, because if this government can take away such fundamental rights as the rights to free collective bargaining, they can take away the rights of all Albertans by a stroke of a pen, because this government is capable of it, they're proving it, and they're showing it. And that should be something that all Albertans are concerned about.
Not only are they taking away your right to freedom of association, your right to collective bargaining, your freedom of speech, but they're even taking away the freedom of speech of us in the legislature by imposing closure, 2 hours of debate. That's not even enough for every member of the opposition to speak. So they are taking away our right as well as elected MLAs to debate the legislation that the government brings forward. This has truly become a government of gangsters.
Bad government. And this government gets another bad mark. It's getting another failing mark. You know why? Because it's misdiagnosed the problems again and prescribed the wrong treatments again.
You know, more than 30 years ago, Peter Lougheed made a promise, he made a deal. The Premier at that time said to public sector workers, I'm going to take away your right to strike, which was bad enough. But he said, in return, we're going to give you a system that provides some fairness for the settlement of your collective agreements. We're going to introduce a system of arbitration. That was the promise. That was the promise. And you know what? Alison Redford broke that promise this week.
Now, I want to explain one thing about this Bill 46, because we had a lot of discussions even as a caucus about this. 2 days ago, we passed a bill in this House giving this government the right to arbitration. Believe that. On international investments, check the record, we gave them the right to arbitration, and we just now are proposing to take that right away from you. That is absolutely shameful. So if arbitration is good enough for Dave Hancock, it's good enough for you. So you have a right to arbitration.
I am pro-labor. I am proud of being pro-labor. And I think Bill 45 is evil, corrupt, nefarious, vile, and so on. We cannot let this become law.
You know, sisters and brothers, this bill is going to be debated on Monday, starting Monday evening, we think. Yep. It's up to us to fill those galleries that overlook the so-called democratic process, because they need to see who it's affecting, the individuals, the families, the communities that this bill will affect. They need to be able to look you in the eye, but they won't. They will look down shamefully because they are passing legislation that is shameful